Hello, welcome to another episode of Drinking with Comics. My name is Sean,
And I'm Mike.
and today for beer we are going to. Man, I bought these. I bought these a couple months ago, uh, more than a couple, from a local brewery I like called the Fallen.
Oh,
And while we were waiting to do them, the Fallen fell because it is closed.
oh
Yeah, I'm super
no!
super bummed, man. So
This is going to be the best beer ever, ain't it?
no, but it's good beer. So I wish I had been able to get their brown, but they didn't have brown. And had I had the foresight, I would have checked back more regularly.
Yeah,
And also I feel bad because I don't go out as much as I would like to. So like my neighbor Vince, who I mentioned on the show all the time, we trade beers. He would go. Him and his wife would go like at least once a week, if not twice. But I just tend to not. I would go maybe once a month, if that, and I should go more, but I don't know. It's hard for me to just go to a brewery sometimes. Even on the weekend, I have stuff to do, and it's
yeah.
like whatever. So I guess I contributed. I feel bad. I should have went more
No,
often, but
I mean,
they,
there's only you would have maybe kept them alive for one more month.
yeah. But I mean, just in general, and the thing that really makes me sad. And I drove into Nashville yesterday with Kirsten, and we went to Total Wine to stock up on some stuff. And I was in a Total Wine in LA at the beginning of October. And all of this is just telling me the same thing. And we've talked about this. Like the craft beer thing is like dead. It's just dead.
I don't think it's dead. I think it's kind of dying.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
okay.
dead in
It's
the
not being
water.
dramatic. It's dying. It's
No,
scaling back.
I think alcoholic beer and alcohol in general has been scaling back a lot lately. Kids aren't drinking it as much as they're more into the non-alcoholic stuff. I see a couple articles of this every once in a while. Yeah, it's not like, and the other problem is there's too many breweries.
So
You know
yes,
what I mean? Like they kind of became this like trendy thing to do. Like you're going to open up a brew restaurant, which is I'm not knocking it because there's always like it's always fun to check out a new brewery every once in a while. But I'm not a regular at any brewery because there's none to be close. Well, there was one close to me and it wasn't very good. They went under like 2 years ago. Um, but the breweries that I tend to like are pretty far away. Just
hmm
like my favorite bar is like a half hour away.
right, right.
It's not something I feel bad every time like I can't make it to that bar every week. I would like to make it every week, but I don't go out drinking every week. So,
Right.
I try to go there once a month at least. There's only so much you can do though.
Yeah.
I think Blue Island, one of our massive political corruption fan that we are, they're kind of slowly going down too. Um, Luckily
That
they're
that
sticking around, but
I hate to hear that. And like in LA, there's still a lot of breweries, but like Phantom Carriage was one. I don't think I ever featured anything on this show ever. Maybe back when I lived there, but I don't think so. But they're gone. I think King Harbor, who used to sponsor this show, they closed and reopened, but I'm not sure if they're reopening like stuck, if they're still around. If anyone knows, let us know in the comments. But here's the thing. Like here in Clarksville. And you've been to, I think, at least one, if not both of these. There's Black Horse and Strawberry Alley, and those are the
yes.
two that aren't going anywhere. But they're restaurant first, brewery second,
Yeah.
and
And they're
they're
very
being
popular restaurants.
very popular. And
Yes.
I, but I do like breweries, and like in LA, there's still like there's a nice little trifecta, like all like walking distance from each other. That's show premium ales. Maddie and Kenta, if they're watching, they'll know what I'm talking about. I forget. There's two more. Like they're basically like sharing like a courtyard, so you can just walk between. And I mean, there's just a lot. But I think the thing is, if you didn't get from the craft beer explosion, certain ones like Stone is a great example of like they're enormous. They got massive distribution. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Lagunitas. Like you
Three
got an
Floyds.
explosion. Three Floyds. You got an
Yeah.
explosion, and there were so many breweries, like you said, and only a few are going to end up sticking, and everything else is going to kind of trickle away, and that makes me super
Yeah.
sad because
Yeah, it is.
I just I'm a fan, and like Total Wine, the shelf space is disappearing for beer. It's still there. They still have a lot, but I noticed yesterday in Nashville, one whole side that used to be beer is now THC infused drinks, and I mean it's fine.
That's a big thing now too, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not like an old guy. I mean I'm an old guy, but I mean I'm not one of these. In my day we did it better. But like I don't know. Pot's for fucking smoking and beer is for drinking. I don't know. Whatever. Do it. Whatever makes you happy. But I just I miss the selection that there was.
Yeah, I think there's still I think there's going to be a lot that succeed still. Like, and if you got a restaurant attached onto it, or if you've
Yeah.
got a really nice, I've been to a couple. I could tell like this isn't going anywhere. This place is huge. Like
Right.
you have two restaurants and your brewery slash restaurant. It's a big compound. I went to one place for life of me. I can't remember where it was, but it was close to. I can't remember. We were there. Maybe not ICU or something like that. It was close to there, and it reminded me a lot of a really big Old Glory. Like
Okay.
it was the same age as Old Glory. The building's like that age. It's a bigger building. It had like all this stuff going on outside, and it was really cool. But it's like one of those things. Like, yeah, you're not going anywhere. You have Sunday brunch going on, and there's a ton of people here eating
Right.
outside. That's I think you got to diversify. You can't just make beer. You got to like count on something like food or some
Yeah, but
other
food
X
is a whole nother
factor.
challenge. I mean, most
Yeah,
restaurants don't succeed. So it
yeah, and I think there's also like um. So you got the food down and it's good, and you got that down. You should do okay, for like normal businesses and stuff like that. And if you're in a good
right.
area too.
Right.
I mean, there's some of these breweries, they're like hidden, like
Yes.
in like a little industrial mall in the middle of
But
nowhere.
that
And
always worked. Like in LA, that was every brewery was like that. Almost every
yeah,
brewery was like that. And it was part, to me, I mean, my perception of it might be off, but to me, it was like part of the charm of them. It's
it
like, oh, let's
is.
sequester over
Yeah,
here. Like people
yeah.
found it by word of mouth. And I don't know, but the Fallen, this is a good brewery, and Nate who ran it made good beer, and I'll miss it. So we're
I
gonna
guess
start with their blonde.
we're gonna pour this out for them, huh? The
Yep, not
blonde.
on the floor though, straight down my gullet.
Oh, why waste such a beautiful thing?
The minute you open it, you can smell it. So this is,
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
you have snow on the ground.
a
We don't
little
have
bit.
snow, but there were flurries this morning, and it's cold. This is not blonde or Kolsch weather, but whatever. Um,
A little lemony. Am I getting lemon off that? 22 no more house ales. Yeah, I guess that said everything right there. Not much on this can. Still nice though.
so the blonde was weird. Sometimes when I would go in and get the blonde, I was like, it's got a fuller body than most blondes. Um,
I like a blonde with full.
I stepped right into it. I just set that up exactly without even realizing
Yes,
it.
I like a blonde with a full body.
Okay, Mike, I don't like war,
You don't like war?
but
War is
I
bad.
do like dreadnoks.
What is war good for?
Oh, say it
Oh,
again.
dreadnoks.
G.I. Joe, G, G.I. Joe 13. This is the first issue of Dreadnok War. Interesting to note that next month in Void Rivals, the Quintesson War starts.
Yeah,
I'm
everyone's
not
just
sure if we're
fighting.
bracketing this and like who the winner from this is going to fight the winner from that. That would be Dreadnoks versus Quintessons. That'd be amazing. Uh, what'd you think of this?
I liked it a lot.
I did too.
It was I liked the uh I liked the sad scientist at the beginning. It was all like, "Oh, won't you please kill me?"
That's right, Laszlo. What's his last name again? We established he's the one from the Transformers cartoon, right?
I believe so, yes. And I also enjoyed that the recap on the third page, this page was brilliantly done.
It really
Um,
was. I mean, I was reading it. I'm like, wait, is this a recap? Like,
yeah,
it was kind of funny the way it just snuck it in there.
but it's like they're pushing. So clearly they're pushing Dreadnok War as a jumping on point,
Exactly. And it is,
and that
folks, it
recap.
is.
It is a very good jumping on point. Not that you can't get the other 13 issues before that, but it's always a good idea to do a jumping on point every once in a while.
Yeah.
Um, I I I loved it, man. I like the Dreadnoks though. That's always been a favorite. And
Yeah.
I just liked, Ripper getting his revenge.
On Cobra Commander, yes.
Um,
Well, trying to get his revenge, he did a little bit. He got to crush his hand. We got to see Ripper use that Jaws of Life thing that always seemed like a weird.
See, for years I thought it was a pile driver,
Okay.
but then when the first one came out, I thought it was a pile driver, and then when I got the 25th anniversary one, it opens
Oh,
up as
wait a
a
minute.
Jaw of Life.
No,
You're
it
right
was
though.
a pi- it was. It was like a jackhammer kind of
It
thing.
was like a
No, wait.
jackhammer, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And then when the 25th anniversary Dreadnought figure came out, it opened up like a Jaws of Life, even though it's the same thing. Yeah. Or you got a Ripper figure back there?
Yeah, I got the original three. And yeah, it's now I'll put a picture of the figure and the accessories up, but oh, and the jaws of life on the figure do open. I hadn't done that before.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they did a fucking awesome job with the original three. Although Buzzer's sunglasses don't stay on, and it's like it drives
Oh,
me
that's frustrating.
bananas.
Crazy
It's
glue.
okay, but that's a really good point because the shape suggests the old figure it could have been a Jaws of Life and it just didn't open because it was one
Well, I feel
piece,
like you would
but it
have.
looked like a hammer.
It looked like on the picture he was jackhammering too, like in the
You're
original
right.
artwork, if I call.
I'll put it in here. You're right.
Yes. So I'm not
That's
100%
interesting.
sure if, like, maybe we look at it again. It's like, oh no, he's cracking open a thing with the jaws of life. But no, I like the jaws of life. It's an interesting tool. I guess in theory, just walking around with a giant jackhammer just doesn't make sense. So they got rid
But
of it.
but also like well, yeah, I guess I don't know.
But in all reality, his main weapon was always the gun with the blade on it,
Yeah,
which you never saw. You never saw a jackhammer on the show. I think he'd always rip it open with the can opener
yeah,
blade.
yep,
I did like that kind of made an appearance. One of the guns had the big blade on it on the
yep.
next page right after he's shooting all those people. I like the. I'm not gonna say it's a heel turn, but it's like Ripper and the other Dreadnoks were just like, yeah, let's get him.
Yeah, it was. I kind of wondered about that at some point. We've seen Ripper hanging around in a Viper outfit, basically without a helmet for a while, and with the sleeves like cut off,
Yeah,
as dreadnoks are wont to do. But
I don't think he's even wearing a shirt. He's just got the Viper, like practically like the
vest.
Viper armor vest on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. But so I had been kind of at some point in the last however many issues, I've been like, wait, weren't they like it had dawned on me like I where are the other ones? And then I thought, oh wait a minute, like Cobra Commander kind of fucked them. Well, Nemesis, whatever his name is, Enforcer,
Both
Immortal,
of them
whatever.
did. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I was like, oh, that's weird. So he's the only one that didn't hold a grudge or whatever. But now it looks like,
Well, if I recall, he was held against his will
well, okay,
for a while
okay.
there. Yeah, like
Oh,
he
you're
kind
yes,
of
you're
had the
right.
force to join,
You're right.
and now he is a part of the. Now he's going back to the Dreadnoks. I love the big bro handshake between him and Buzzer. Like, hey, you got
Yeah.
chainsaw arm, buddy.
It's the Carl Weathers Schwarzenegger from Predator, you know.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. Um,
I like Duke just stupidly like handcuffs Cobra Commander's like, oh well, I guess I'm in this now. Dumb.
so, okay, so about that, I love that the recap ends with the war between Duke and Cobra Commander has just begun. And then as the action builds in this, and it's basically like Cobra Commander and Ripper go out to find this source of Energon because their Energon's depleted. He tells Destro, send the twins out here, send Baroness out, or not Baroness, Chameleon out here, send whoever out here, and then Ripper and I will go to this one that's intermittent. And
Yeah.
then it turns out it ends up Ripper stages it as a trap. Now, interesting point. We still don't know who set that there. There was no Energon. It was a ruse. So we don't know who did that.
Yeah.
And because it also drew G.I. Joe there because they redirect Duke from his R&R to go intercept this. But so I find it interesting that they set up this like, you know, the war between Cobra Commander and Duke has just begun. And then a few pages later, after all of this has happened and the Dreadnoks have surprise attack, Duke and Cobra Commander are basically not allies exactly, but they are paired together running from the
Yeah.
Dreadnoks. And the whole handcuff thing reminds me of, I want to say it's Larry Hama's Real American Hero. It's somewhere around like 20 or 21, I think. There's a whole storyline where it's like Clutch and I forget who else happened to get Cobra Commander, and they have him as a hostage. So I feel like there was a little bit of a callback to that. I thought that was super cool. And then just like I love seeing the big Cobra throne. You know,
Yeah.
the fantastical element of this lends itself to things that Hama wouldn't have done because it wouldn't have fit. And one of them are things like a giant Cobra shaped throne, right? So,
Yeah. The other thing I thought was kind of interesting, the orange Jeep
oh yeah.
is very reminiscent of a Mask orange Jeep that Mask
Oh,
used. Um, whether or not that's just like, oh, hey, look, we got this orange Jeep because, Mask used it. Because Mask is starting to get sleeked into this thing a little bit. Um, but yeah, it intrigued me that I think it's called Renegade.
oh, okay.
It would
I'll put a picture in here.
it would pop open and a little boat would pop out of it. But it reminded me a lot of that. I don't know clearly, obviously, that is not the vehicle they're using, but I did also enjoy the big vehicle spread that the Dreadnoks are using, which was all their like um main like that Dreadnok motorcycle three-wheel thing with the gun turret on the back of it. Then you had
That was
the
an actual toy, right? At some point.
yes, and then there was the Thunder Machine, and then there was the what is it? It was like a split pod thing. It's
Dude,
in the
so
middle there.
that was excited me because I had that vehicle as a kid and I loved that thing, the Stun,
The Stun, but I
where
think
it's a three wheels, but the
yeah,
front is like two like sidecars almost, but with guns, and it splits like this or can go back together. And that is clearly the prototype that they will use for the Cobra Stun.
yeah, and not only that, like I think there was a Dreadnought version of that car.
Oh, okay. So I didn't
If I
realize that.
recall correctly, you look that up. Like, put the picture here.
Yeah, I'll put
A, is
if it's
Mike
there, I'll put
right?
it in. If
Or
it's there, I'll
B,
put it in. If not, I'll
I'm gonna put it in the comments to prove me right.
But also, the thing next to that looks like it could be the prototype for a G.I. Joe Awe Striker.
A
Now,
little bit, yeah.
I don't remember if there's like, what's the vamp that Clutch comes with, I think, right? And then, but then there's also
Vamp,
like
yeah.
is it the Stinger is like the Cobra version, and it's just a repaint. So I'm wondering if there was a repaint for the Awe Striker.
I don't remember.
A lot
And
of
then
this
you
stuff
had
came after I.
there's that ATVs there in the very corner too.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then I love Torch's car. This is this
Which is
badass. It's the one like right next to the Striker underneath Dreadnoks.
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Look at that sucker.
Yeah,
Oh, I love it.
you know why you like it? What's it look like?
Like a Batmobile, of course.
That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like a Batmobile. Um,
It also reminds me of crap. Just scratch that. I can't remember the show. I'm not going to bother trying to remember it.
Okay.
But
All right.
they did like cars like that too. Like these, just I just love post-apocalyptic cars.
Well,
You
so
know?
this has, yeah, this is like dread, and I like to, just like Blood, Major Blood is the Bloodhounds, and Destro had Iron Grenadiers. Like, there's all these different factions, right? There's way more Dreadnoks in this series than there ever was before, because there's kind of like a bunch of no-name grunts, like green shirts, kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
Um,
And there's some that I kind of recognize, but
well, and who's the guy that looks like a clown?
I don't know. He's new.
Like,
Or the guy
I,
driving the Stung, who's like this Brian Posehn looking big dude here driving this with a
and
beard.
in fact, the guy behind him almost looks like a scuckoid, but with a biker helmet on.
I guess that makes
Uh,
sense. There's one of them landed there and became a dreadnought.
yeah, but yeah, really, really cool. And so I like this. Now we have this setup for the story is Duke and Cobra Commander on the run. The Dreadnoks chasing them, and now Destro has basically said, called it. You know, it's like an all hands meeting. Everybody shows up, and he's like, the commander has taken a leave of absence. Cobra is now mine.
Yeah,
So I love all the tension points. Like the
yeah. This is
Dreadnoks are not, because it's like in the cartoon, it's like whenever G.I. Joe shows up, everybody in G.I. Joe shows up. Or whenever
yeah,
Cobra shows up, everybody in Cobra shows up. But, and even though there were squabbles, like for the most part, it's all aligned. But here it's like Cobra it's like an umbrella, but there's all these other factions. And you really get a sense that like, it goes beyond infighting.
yeah. And I really hope that Dreadnoks never join Cobra.
I think that'd be
Like,
great.
just yeah. I think we could just keep them separated. Like, I'd hate to be the end of like this. And these is like Zartan's like, oh well, we're a part of your team now, so you don't kill us, Cobra. No, I'd like to just see them be very much another fraction out there in this giant world of Energon. Give them their own comic
Yep.
book. Oh, I would
Oh,
love that.
oh, that would be
Oh,
great.
whether it be like a 6 issue mini or just like an ongoing, I would love the crap out of that. I think there's a
Yeah,
lot of fun stories to be told from their point of view. And then,
agreed.
that goes with my whole thing. Like, I wish there was just a Cobra book too, like a Cobra versus a G.I.JOE book and a Cobra book that would combine every once in a while.
Like IDW did.
Yeah, but yeah, because I feel like there's a lot of characters who just getting thrown under the bus because they can't really expand on anyone. And there's a ton of characters in GI Joe that all deserve their light in the sun. You know, that's what makes this kind of fun, is because it's not this particular issue is very much a Cobra versus Dreadnok
Yeah,
issue. It's not a GI Joe story at all. Duke's
right. It's
barely
just
in it.
Duke
Yeah,
happens to be there, but it's primarily Cobra versus
yeah.
Dreadnought. Or like, what would so it, it's interesting because if Cobra, he's not going to, but if Cobra Commander were to be removed, then would the Dreadnoks, I guess, would be part of Cobra or at least affiliated because Destro would be running things. And he basically,
That could be the
he's the one that's
case.
like, hey, Ripper, as long as you're going with him, it'd be a shame if something happened to him.
Yeah, that was some very subtle um, suggestions on Destro's part.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah, it was good. This
yeah,
is the first issue of G.I. Joe of the 13 issues so far. This is the first one where I wholeheartedly loved it, like
yeah,
start to finish. So,
I've enjoyed GI Joe, but not as much. This is this is what I liked about the Cobra miniseries,
yeah,
which was
exactly.
awesome. This is what I want. Clearly you're knocking it out of the park here. Throw it in, yeah. Just, I don't know, restructure, figure something out.
Yeah,
Give me this
no,
book.
agree.
Give me more of this.
Uh, okay,
So
that's
yeah,
G.I. Joe 13, Dreadnok War, issue number 1. So we'll
yeah,
we'll check back in on subsequent issues. I'm hoping some of them might blow my mind.
definitely a Killing Joke.